Hey y'all, hi. Okay, 10 outfits that I'm obsessed with and why. Frankly, by doing this, I'm hoping to get some ideas for how I can put together the clothes that I already own in a new way. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm obsessed with here, particularly what it is that I'm obsessed with that I can imitate without buying anything. And hopefully you'll get some ideas too, or at the very least, some ideas about how to analyze images of outfits that you love. So if you and I don't have the same style, at least you can repeat the performance and get something out of it yourself. Don't forget to check out my book at the top of the description box down below if you have never clicked through and taken a look at that. And now let's get into the meat of the video. Okay, outfit number 1. At first glance, we have a lot of things that I don't have and don't like, I guess. It just occurs to me now that this is butter yellow, which was really trending last year. And I talked several times about, actually, there was a push-pull. I was drawn to it because I appreciate the execution in a lot of cases. I think it's really beautiful, but on a practical level, I struggled. Whether it would even look good on me. How do you wash it? Because you don't want to wash yellow with your bright whites, but you also don't want to wash anything dark with butter yellow. It's like you would have to have your whole own, butter yellow would have to have its own laundry day. I feel that is actually the main objection that I have to butter yellow. Just saying. It's butter yellow. These magnificent boots I don't have. Anything like this, like if I were to set out to recreate this outfit, I would have to buy boots if I was trying to actually recreate this outfit. So I have to extract from it what it is that I love, but separate that from the actual details of this. Here's what I think that it is. The first thing that strikes me is that she's covered from neck to toe, except for the tips of her fingers. This is a sensual outfit to me. It's sexy. You look at it and it's like, I feel like she looks sexy. I feel like I would look sexy if I were in this and I would feel sensual. I want to wear this or wear my version of this. And that's one of the reasons why, right? I want to feel my oats in this sensual way. But if you look at it from literally from under her chin, because the sweater is a turtleneck, all the way down to her toes, the only other bit of skin that's peeping out are her fingertips that you can barely see. And if she had her hands down at her sides, they would be covered too. Isn't that fascinating? I think that that's the main draw. And it has nothing to do with butter yellow. And it has nothing to do with python leather or whatever the boots are made out of. So how is that being executed? Like, how is it possible? I think there's something about the satin of the skirt, right? The silk or satin skirt being worn in a casual way, like being worn with boots like this and being worn with a chunky sweater like this for day. There's a hint of evening wear and of sensuality in that kind of slip dress or slip skirt. So that's part of it. I also think there's something about the boot going up underneath the hem of the garment. I think that there's something really alluring about that. At first, I thought this was pants. I've liked seeing boots and pants put together that way. Lately, I actually now think that it's a skirt, but it's still as alluring because it's like there should be skin there, but there's not. And so it makes you think about that hemline and it makes you think about the edge of the boot, which is hidden from view underneath the skirt. I think that that might be part of what it is. There's just something communicative about the body that's going on with this overlap, with this really tall shaft of the boot that goes up underneath the hem of the skirt. Of course, there's a monochromatic aspect that's really attractive to me. It's one of the things that I know that I can imitate and that draws me to this outfit. It's probably one of the reasons, if not the reason why this was suggested to me on Pinterest as an outfit that I might like, because I pin a lot of monochromatic outfits. And by that, I mean in this case that the sweater and the skirt are the exact same color, but they're two different fabrics. I think the main takeaway here is this layering and overlapping and cascading of different textures and like different layers in sort of chunky, uneven hemlining all the way from the neck down to the ground. So there aren't any harsh lines really cutting across, although I guess the skirt cuts across, but the fact that the boot goes underneath, it kind of keeps that ball in the air rather than the garment like cutting across, especially if she was in motion, you know what I mean? And then the hem of the sweater isn't cutting across either. Everything's just sort of ripples and billows and flows of different levels of edges of different textures of fabric all the way down to the ground. Okay, this is an image that I've shown before. I can't remember what I used it to illustrate, but it was in one of my other recent fashion videos. I'm obsessed with this outfit. I'm obsessed with about this? Once again, I think it might be about an issue of juxtaposition. And let me tell you, I didn't prep what I was going to say about these images. I just pulled up a bunch of images. Some of them have something in common with each other, like multiple images to illustrate what I think might be a similar point. But I'm finding out in real time. I'm delving into my own depths in real time to try to figure out why I'm obsessed with this outfit. I've only ever just looked at it and been like, slay. Like, so that's that has been my singular opinion so far. Delving a little deeper, I think it has something to do with juxtaposition. So in the last outfit, we were talking about kind of juxtaposing sensuality with modesty, kind of like a full coverage outfit that still to me felt very sensual. And there was something about those two things butting up against each other that made it really interesting. Here, I feel like this massive cardigan, it's not just that it's a cardigan jersey, like a sports jersey cardigan. It also has, I don't know, a kind of drabness to it. Like even within the cardigan itself, there's a juxtaposition of a sportiness, like a contemporary loungewear quality with sort of an old-fashioned quality because it buttons up like it does. It's like a grandpa cardigan. Like that's the style, the buttons, and it's this gray, but it also looks like a sports jersey at the same time. So even within that one garment, there's kind of this texture. And then I feel something similar is going on between like the glasses and the shoes, the hemline, the shoe and sock and skirt hemline relationship. That feels very Gen Z to me. Like that feels very fresh, but it feels like it's fresh because it's sort of a cheeky take on awkwardness, sock awkwardness. And the same is going on with the glasses. I just keep feeling like the outfit is sort of phasing in and out of vibes. Like you look at it and it keeps like phasing in and out of vibes. And the two main vibes that it's tossing back and forth are sort of like a cheeky frumpiness with freshness. But I actually think that cheeky frumpiness is very Gen Z, and so it is fresh in its own way. So it's sort of like a circle that completes itself. Also, the loafer sock khaki, either skirt or pants, I'm going to choose to believe they're pants. Okay, they're wide leg, ankle length pants. The khaki pant crew sock loafer situation, that feels to me like it's from a different part of the store or from a different store altogether than the cardigan. So those two are sort of making sparks as they butt up against each other. And then the bag, once again, it's like the bag would make sense with a much more formal outfit, a much more matchy-matchy outfit. The bag would also, I feel, make sense with an obnoxiously designer outfit, like a designer sweatsuit, which the cardigan is kind of giving. So they go together in that way, but then the khaki loafer crew sock thing completely disrupts that. It's just so dynamic. It's just so cheeky. It's got a lot of power, and I live. What could the takeaways be for me, though? I don't know if I can do this. I do have a pair of loafers, actually, really amazing. This brand Freda, I'm glad I remembered to tell you this, actually. This brand Freda Salvador, which makes, I think, probably the most exquisite loafers in the world. And they make other shoes too, like boots and stuff like that. They sent me a pair of loafers. The weather's been so bad that I haven't really been able to wear them, so I haven't been able to model them on Instagram yet, but I'm telling you about them now, and they also gave me a discount code. So I'll link that. I'll put it in the description box below. This is just to say, I could do this. I could try. This is what my personal takeaway from this is going to be. I've been imagining always wearing those loafers without socks. I could try them with a sock. I could try this loafer sock hemline situation. And if it makes me really uncomfortable, I have to just make sure to wear some kind of clever active wear on top. Something on top that is from a different part of the store. You know, I'm going to try it. Okay. I'm obsessed with this outfit. Here's what it is about this. I might wear this. Okay. I might wear this. Everything about it is outside of the realm of what I currently feel the most comfortable in. So these red pants, that's just a really strong color for me right now at this time of life. A graphic tee with blue on it with red pants. If I were going to wear red pants like this, I would soften them way down by wearing like an oversized knitwear piece, right? The red pants would be the only thing out of the line of like soft, slouchy, artistic minimalism. And that would be the only way that I would feel comfortable getting away with these red pants. So the fact that it's with a graphic tee that also has color, that is not something I would think to do. And then to put this coat over it, which adds, I feel, a level of quirkiness, a level of fashion insider frisson. The coat adds a level of carefreeness or not caring what other people think, like an effortlessness, but it's like the effortlessness of shabbiness. You know what I mean? Like that adds a little bit of shabbiness, but it's not shabby. It really makes it fashion, and it makes it fashion in that way that's like a little grungy. I think that that's kind of what it is. It's like a little grungy. and it somehow pushes it right back into the center of the realm of what I actually would wear in my everyday life, like to the grocery store. I would feel comfortable in this because it feels like, oh, this is what I was just wearing to hang out around the house, this graphic tee and these red pants, and then I put on this polished overcoat. It would just work. So what it does for me is it makes me see other ways in which I could wear clothes with more character, like these pants and shirt, and still feel like myself and not feel too clownish, which that feeling of kind of it being too much and being too clownish, that's kind of what I was trying to leave behind when I moved more squarely into the realm of the soft artistic minimalism that I've been enjoying so much, right? Because it's so me. It's something about the overcoat over it all that's making it work. I'm a little bit at a loss. I'm not totally sure what I can take away exactly from this, but I'll keep thinking about it. And let's look at the next image, because this image, a lot of the same stuff is going on. Obviously not the color, like the bright color, the red pants, the shirt. We've got a trouser. We've got a sneaker, which I think that the guy in the other image, you can barely see it, but he's also wearing sneakers. We've got a trouser, we've got a sneaker, we've got a shirt, and then we've got this long, sharp-shouldered overcoat over it. And so in both of these cases, it's the type of coat that you would wear to an office building, like a true overcoat, like an overcoat for wearing over a suit, but it's worn over a much more casual outfit. I actually feel like that's the actual takeaway. Actual takeaway. I don't have as sharp of a suit coat as this. I have a slightly more formal coat. Actually, I have that plaid one. I have this plaid coat that could kind of work like this. And so it makes me want to bust out that plaid coat and wear it over a slightly quirky trouser shirt combination, which this image doesn't contain. But I feel like this image clarifies for me what the driver of the outfit is, and it's the coat. It's a sharper, more formal coat over an outfit that makes sense with sneakers. That's what I'm going to take away. Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm obsessed. Look at this. I have been really into images lately of outfits that are a little rough around the edges somewhere, like where they visibly are worn, like visibly well-loved pieces are in the outfit, and yet it still really hangs together as fashion. I made a whole video about it that should be up on the channel by now about deprogramming the obsession with newness and cleanliness and perfect sharpness that I feel like is really the dominant condition in which outfits and clothes are shown on Instagram and on social media in other places, especially in sort of the modern organic minimalist fashion space that I sometimes find myself subjected to when I'm scrolling, you know? So I love in this image that the shoes are clearly well loved. They're dirty and worn, and they really ground this image. They make this person look really in his body, you know, really just relaxed and not all dolled up. The trousers and the sweater look really clean and sharp, but they also could be well loved and worn and just be really high quality. And so they've retained their sharpness over time. It's a little bit hard to tell, but both of them, they're both. They give the impression of sturdiness and potential age. They look really clean and sharp. And I love that because it helps balance out the sneaker. But it's the hat that's doing it. Without that hat, we wouldn't be here today, my friends. Without that hat, we would all never have been born. The hat, it's adding an element of fun. It's elevating it higher than we ever dreamed. It's that color, right? It's that I love a pop of red. So it's partly that it's red. If it were a really strong blue or green, again, it might not have made it onto my Pinterest homepage in the same way, but red, it's red that's doing it. And also the hat, I mean, I don't know if this is some kind of fashion person. Maybe this hat cost $900, but it could also have been $2. Everything that's being done here that's impressive is being done with shape and color and balance. I really love that. Nothing is screaming money to me about this. And it's so good. I feel like this guy would be the best dressed in so many rooms. And I think that that's why I'm obsessed with this. What's the takeaway? Everything I said, I feel is the takeaway. A pretty simple outfit with a strong pop of a really statement color, I think is a beautiful formula. That's the main takeaway. Okay, here I am obsessed with an outfit that I don't think that I could wear. I think that if I wore this, I would feel a little ridiculous and I think I would look a little bit ridiculous. So what can we take away from it? That's kind of the question. Several things. First of all, I'm really interested in the voluminous skirt with the flats, because I have some images coming up of a skirt sweater combo with heels. That's been really attracting me. Those kinds of images have been really attracting me. The potential for doing that with a glove flat is very appealing because it's easier to walk in and it makes more sense to wear casually. What would make this wearable for me? A change in the color of the skirt, bright pastel, it would, for me, draw too much attention to me, myself, in my current life. But I do have some dresses that have as voluminous of a bottom half that are in more neutral colors. What if the skirt just was white or a dark burgundy brown or something? I actually think that's all that it would take. And then I would still have, it's perfect on her the way that it is. To me, switching out the skirt color for something more toned down would make this totally wearable for me, even with the necklace over the sweater, which is such a great detail here. So if I were to wear like my dark burgundy linen voluminous dress that has this sort of huge skirt like this, brown glove flats, which I have, a turtleneck sweater that is a bit boxy, so it would drape over the dress like this, which I have, and then a necklace. I don't have a pearl necklace like this, but I could do like a chunky chain over the turtleneck. I could totally recreate this exact outfit and I would live for it. When I first looked at it, I was like, ooh, I'm so obsessed with this, but it's so off for me. It's so far from what I would ever wear, but that's actually not true. There's only one element, and it's not even switching out an entire garment. It's just changing the color of one of the elements, and then I could wear it. I'm glad we broke this down. Okay, here we're getting into, I'm just calling it an outfit that I'm obsessed with, but it's a couple of pictures. So we have this picture, which I think someone told me that it's Miucci Prada. I think that that's who this is. So of course, but it's a sweater. I've said before about this image that one of the striking things to me is that from the waist up, it just looks so almost pedestrian and basic. Like she could just be wearing khakis and sneakers underneath and she could be sitting in a casual office anywhere, But then from the waist down, we have the skirt, the satin pumps, and they match. And they're this chocolate brown, and it's just so good. The overall shape of it is a sweater that's more casual over a silk or satin slip skirt with pumps. This image, which I've talked about a lot, is the same outfit formula, right? It's the same combination. And once again, the pumps kind of match the color. It's adjacent to what we just looked at. In the other picture with the purple skirt, the skirt wasn't a slip skirt. It wasn't slinky like this. And the shoes were flats instead of being heels, but it was still a sweater over a statement skirt, like a striking skirt, which by the way, the first outfit also was a sweater over a slip skirt. So this tells me something. And I do have a slip skirt that I actually got because I needed something that I could wear to dance because I'm trying to dance more tango these days and didn't have really anything. So I have a slip skirt that I could use for this. I have plenty of voluminous sweaters that I could use. And then I think for me, it's going to be flats instead of heels most of the time. But really, it's just like making the choice to wear a skirt on a random day of the week as the bottom half of an outfit instead of pants, which is what I usually default to. The outfits I'm obsessed with these days on Pinterest, that's what they're telling me I should do. Okay, another top and skirt combination triumph. I'm obsessed with Abisola Omole. So of course she was going to turn up in this video. Can you even with this outfit? It is so good. And once again, it's a combination of something more casual, which is this like knitted t-shirt silhouette. It's giving casual, but with an absolutely stunning maxi skirt that hits the floor. I saw in the Instagram caption for this that the skirt is by Victoria Beckham. Kind of makes sense. And then it's black and white and the bag is white. It's just such an impeccable, effortless event outfit. And I feel like the takeaway does overlap quite a bit with what I took away from those other images of skirts and sweaters, which it just has to do with wearing a skirt in a more casual way. In this case, I feel like she's actually wearing a t-shirt top in a more formal way by pairing it with the skirt. Putting formal skirts, maxi skirts, slip skirts, which I have, and dresses. And then I get up in the morning, I go to get dressed and I'm like, I don't have any pants, which also isn't true. What am I going to wear with my sweater today? I have nothing. I just need to start considering my skirts and dresses as options on those days when I'm wearing sweaters and also when I'm wearing t-shirts. I just love this. I also think that I love black and white. I love wearing black and white. Really gotten into that in the past couple of years. And so that's part of why I'm drawn to this. The freshness of it, the simplicity. I believe her shoes were silver, pointy, either heels or mules. You can kind of see them peeking out in a different picture. So there's also this other bit of information here, which is that silver can kind of be a version of white. Like it's connected to the white shirt. It's staying monochromatic. It's keeping the outfit a bicolor outfit, like just two colors, but silver, it's like a fun version of white. That's the visual information we're getting. I just can't even with this. The takeaway here is to wear skirts with everything, to wear t-shirts with skirts, to remember what a joy it is to wear black and white together with black and white accessories, but also to remember that silver can kind of be a white accessory in an outfit like that. I do have a silver bag that I've had for a really long time, and I almost never carry it because I kind of can't figure out how. This is how. Okay, an oldie but a goodie. I've used this image a lot to illustrate various points. I live for this. I feel like in this case, the reason that I'm currently obsessed with it is that the underlayer, it's kind of giving bodysuit vibes, like an outfit formula where you just put on a bodysuit, a long sleeve, long legged bodysuit, I guess a cat suit that goes from head to toe, and then you just put on like a sweater over that and then you're dressed. I feel like the hat, the scarf, the t-shirt or sweater underneath, the corduroy pants, and the Chanel bag are all like the bodysuit. They're like an underpainting, an underlayer. Once again, butter yellow. Maybe I secretly just like butter yellow. The gray sweater on top is like what she's wearing. It's like she has made the hat, scarf, shirt, pants, and bag part of the body. And then she's just wearing the one sweater and shoes. That's how I see this. And I just think it's genius. It would be much easier to execute with black hat, scarf, shirt, pants, bag, and then one color on either a jacket or a sweater or a vest or something on top of that entirely black outfit, or brown. The fact that it's done with a color here, though, I think is part of the magic. It's part of what makes it so incredibly striking. Another takeaway here, I feel, is that the shoes can just be a third thing, their own thing. In a way, this is kind of a 3-bean salad. The beans are butter yellow, gray, and white sneakers. You know, she's not just wearing 3 things, but she only has like these 3 elements. I just like the idea of having absolutely everything match except your shoes and then putting a sweater on top that's in a contrasting color. I just like that. Okay, and lastly, I'm totally obsessed with this outfit. I feel like this is a little more obvious for me because this is right down the middle of my vibe. I still wanted to talk about it because it's pretty simple, but there are things that I can extract from it. Even though I've been trying to dress in this soft, layered, textured, minimal way for a while now, I look at this, it still gets me excited. And so what is it? Like, what is it about it that's leading me down the path? She's wearing blue and black together, which I think I kind of shy away from. I do have a couple of pairs of dark blue jeans, maybe not quite this dark blue. It's so effortless in this picture. It looks monochromatic. It feels monochromatic, even though it's dark blue jeans and a black sweater. That's something that I want to kind of remember. There's a lot about texture going on, right? The bag has its own texture. The shoes have their own texture compared to everything else, even though they're just plain leather. They're the only thing. They don't match. The texture of the shoes don't match the texture of the bag. Everything is oversized, including the sunglasses. So I actually feel like that is what keeps this in the realm of something that feels artistic, something that feels chic. Whereas if the sweater fit her better, like if it was more fitted, and if the pants were a little bit more structured and a little bit more fitted, it would read a little bit more down the middle, like maybe a little bit more conservative. It wouldn't read as dramatic. It wouldn't have the flair that it has. Maybe that's the actual takeaway here, that when you're sticking pretty close to one tone and it's a conservative tone like black, you know, everything else we've looked at has kind of been all over the map with pops of color statement. Like there's been something sticking out here or there, something a little bit loud. This isn't so loud, but it also doesn't feel quiet to me, or it doesn't feel buttoned up to me. And so the question here of why am I obsessed with this? I think the question is, why am I obsessed with this even though the color story is so quiet? What is keeping it from being too buttoned up? And the answer is proportions and texture. So the fact that it's so slouchy and oversized, the top and the pants, it's kind of risky. And the sunglasses are so oversized, like they're covering half of her face. You know, it's very extreme, that size. And then there's so much texture variety. Every single element of the outfit is a different texture. That is so actionable to me, right? That's really fun to me. And I think that for people who don't feel comfortable with like one very red hat or like a butter yellow from head to toe, any of the other things we've looked at, you know, but you still just don't want to end up looking and feeling drab. You know, you still want to have some sense of flair and presence, texture, proportions, drama with size and shape, silhouette. You know, that's where it's going to come from. I know that it's beyond time for me to start actually playing with my clothes on camera. I know I've said this recently. We're getting there, my friends. Since the last time I promised that we were getting there, we've actually gotten further along. The other half of this room in which I film, it has just been full of stuff because we've had people staying with us. We've had to very slowly whittle away at that stuff and turn the other half of this room into like my office. That is also a space that I can film. It'll be really soon. Soon, these videos in which I talk about things like this are also going to include the part where I actually try it myself. I have my focus set on it. I can almost taste it, and I'm so excited to start doing that. And I really appreciate you bearing with me while I just talk about Pinterest images for like months on end because it's taking us so long to get that together. But a new phase is right around the corner. I am excited to go there with you. Very happy to be here with you. Thank you for being here with me. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.